Tom was about to die of thirst at sea. He cupped his hands to scoop up seawater, but he didn't dare drink it. He knew perfectly well that seawater not only wouldn't ease his thirst, but would actually make his brain dry out. The three of them were in despair. They had no food or water. That feeling was even worse than death. But just then, the captain suddenly yelled. The other two quickly turned their heads, thinking the captain had lost his mind. But the captain pulled a pencil from his pocket. With that pencil, he could sketch a map of the ocean, all from memory. He didn't dare waste a second. He quickly started drawing on the life jacket. If they were lucky and drifted north, they would soon hit land. The group lit up when they heard this. They finally had hope of survival. But how to manage the wind was the problem. The weather at sea changed constantly. Then the captain came up with an idea. He untied the nylon rope from the raft and used the life jackets to make a simple anchor. With that anchor, they could avoid drifting off course in the wind. If they kept floating along the right path, as long as nothing went wrong, they would reach the island in about 7 days. At that moment, they felt saved. The three of them grinned with relief. But right then, they were starving and thirsty. So they started praying to the heavens, hoping for rain to fall soon. By midnight, it was as if the heavens had heard their prayers. Heavy rain really began to pour. The three of them were thrilled. They quickly pulled out anything they had to collect it, afraid to waste even a drop of fresh water. Then they opened their mouths wide and drank the rain greedily. This was the first fresh water they had tasted in 10 whole days. After drinking their fill, they regained a bit of strength, but the problem of food was still unsolved. Mike had been trying to fish for a week, but he still hadn't caught a thing. Mike lost his temper. He instantly pulled out a small knife and stabbed furiously into the water. To his shock, he hit the raft. The captain scolded him angrily, but suddenly the knife was yanked down hard. Mike realized he hadn't struck the raft at all. The next moment, he hauled up a shark. The others rushed to pin it down, to stop it from flipping back into the sea. Mike drove the knife into the shark to make sure it was dead. Only then did they dare let go. At last, the three of them could fill their stomachs. The taste was strong and fishy, but at least they wouldn't starve. After eating their fill, they stuffed the leftover meat into their socks, so they could use it as bait later. That way, their food problem was solved. They drained the shark's blood from the raft into the sea, not realizing that move would bring danger. Soon sharks gathered, drawn by the scent of blood. The three were too terrified to move. The sharks circled around them. It was midnight and the ocean was eerily still. Mike leaned down to splash his face awake, but the next second a shark bit his hand. Jack woke in shock. He immediately grabbed his gun and fired at it. The captain rushed to check Mike's wounds. Thankfully, there were only 3 bite marks. No other part of his body was hurt. The captain quickly bandaged Mike's hand. After that close call, they became much more cautious. Days went by and their stored meat was almost gone. Even though Mike tried fishing every day, he still had no luck.